Before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsors of this video, Cross Chronicle. It's a unique collector mobile RPG where yokais and human team up with the yokai's powers to fight enemies. One of the things which I liked about this game is that you experience varying dialogue options that change based on your decisions. You can take advantage of the strategic fusion system which allows your human hunters to borrow powers from yokai. So you need to customize your team of yokai and hunters, carefully deciding which ones suit your playstyle. Click the link in the description to download Cross Chronicle for free. Hunter x Hunter is how you do shonen anime right. The 2011 reboot of the 1999 original based on Yoshihiro Togashi's manga is 148 episodes long. As we've seen with long-running series, they suffer from an inevitable drop in quality. Over time, plot lines tend to get unimaginative, characters get tired and stop evolving, and even the animation suffers too. It's a disease that gets to the best of them. Thankfully, Hunter x Hunter doesn't go through that. The retelling of the story of Gon Freaks, a young boy whose dream of being a professional hunter takes him on a path of adventure and danger, starts pretty slow, but as the naive and infectiously enthusiastic Gon makes new friends and enemies along the way, the show gets better and better with each episode and each arc. Initially light-hearted, it gets progressively darker until the line between the good and bad guys are so blurred, you just don't know what to think. The storytelling's tight, every character's fleshed out and memorable, and the change in tone never seems contrived. The action sequences, the holy grail of shonen shows, never let you down. Efficiently crafted and never dull, Hunter x Hunter also has moments of pure brilliance that shock and awe. It's only appropriate that we dedicate today's video to the top 10 moments from the show.
お前の泣きが俺様がこの手でバラバラ
We start off with Killua's one-shot kill. This is one of those moments where the darkness of Hunter x Hunter smacks you in the face without warning. It comes as early as episode 11 in the Hunter exam arc. Gon, Killua, Kurapika, and Leorio, 4 friends and hunters-to-be, must defeat a team of notorious prisoners to make it through to the next round. Killua Zoldyak's matched against Jonas the Dissector, a mass murderer known for dismembering his victims with his bare hands. It seems to be an unequal match, but not how we think. In a flash, Killua plucks Jonas's heart out of his chest with his bare hands, leaving his teammates terrified, except for Gon, who explains to them calmly that Killua is from a family of elite assassins. It's hard to believe the easygoing kid we first saw riding a skateboard is a cold-blooded murderer for hire, whose kill switch may come on at any time. Leorio, who looks much older than his teen years, is a big brother figure to Gon and the rest of his friends. He takes this role very seriously, and this becomes clear in episode 140 when he lectures Ging for being an absent father to Gon. Ging abandoned Gon as a baby to pursue a career as a hunter, and while Gon bears him no ill will and even aspires to be like him, his friends aren't too thrilled with Jing's parental neglect. Leorio is enraged when Ging refuses to commit to visiting Gon, who's barely held on to his life and sanity after a particularly bruising battle and is in hospital. He channels his anger into one immensely satisfying Nen-powered punch to Jing's smug face. Gotta say, you deserve that, Ging. Lightning speed and godlike reflexes meet in this next moment, when Killua shows why he may be the coolest customer in the Hunter universe. Up against the beast-like Youpi, one of 3 royal guards in the service of the Chimera and King Meruem, Killua goes into Godspeed mode, an ability that, as its name suggests, allows him to move and react above and beyond the limits of his body for a short period of time. Transformed into a silver streak of raw power, he hits Youpi with a barrage of Nen-powered electric attacks to which the much stronger and bigger Chimera Ant has absolutely no answer. It's one of the coolest David and Goliath clashes in the series. It also serves as a reminder of Killua's dark past, because this ability and power are born of the family-imparted torture training and electric shocks that formed the young assassin's childhood. Up next we have Kite's death. Of the many friends and villains Gon meets on his journey, none perhaps has the impact that Kite does on the young hunter. A chance to find his father leads Gon to Kite, Jing's former student. Instead, the two form a strong bond despite not spending much time together. In the Chimera Ant arc, Kite, Gon and Killua find themselves up against Pito, another one of Meruem's royal guards. Heavily disadvantaged against the Chimera Ant, Kite sacrifices himself to save the two boys. The sight of Pito nestling Kite's lifeless head in her lap is one of the most disturbing moments in Hunter x Hunter, again coming with absolutely no warning. More profoundly, Kite's death is the catalyst for a sea change in Gon's character at a later stage and for one of the most iconic moments in anime history. Suffice to say, Kite's death is a moment of awakening for Gon in more ways than one.
特質系となった私はどの系統の能力も 100% 引き出せる。これが今の私の力。エンペラータイム。
If Killua's Godspeed is awe-inspiring but not altogether surprising, Kurapika's Emperor Time is just as amazing and quite unexpected. The lone survivor of the Gorta clan bears a deep grudge against the Phantom Troop, a gang of thieves who massacred his people for their scarlet eyes. This thirst for revenge shapes much of Kurapika's character, and his Nen ability, which takes the form of 5 chains on his right hand that have been specially conjured to bring down the spiders, as the troop members are called. But in the battle against Uvogin, Kurapika reveals a frightening power that elevates the thinking hunter to a terrific combatant, which many of us may not have expected. Emperor Time takes over when Kurapika's eyes turn scarlet, transforming the natural conjurer into a specialist with 100% control over all 6 Nen categories. It's a power that doesn't quite fit the young man with a gentle voice. While on the one hand, Kurapika uses Emperor Time at a great risk to his own life, on the other hand, he offers to spare Uvogin's life if he answers his questions with honesty. This duality is a masterful summary of Hunter x Hunter's innate ability to churn out multi-layered characters. Kicking off the top 5, we have the moment Gon and the Hunters infiltrate the palace in the kingdom of East Goto for their final assault on Meruem. Entering a portal previously placed by expert infiltrator and member of the Hunter Association Nov, Gon and gang immediately run into Youpi sitting on the staircase leading to the king's chamber. To get to Meruem, they must get past this powerful enemy first. Meanwhile, a second simultaneous castle invasion is underway, this time from the sky. Hunter Association Chairman Isaac Netero and Killua's grandfather Zeno Zoldiak crash land on Pito and Poof, the third royal guard, in a meteor shower of dragon aura. As the animation switches to slow motion to capture the emotion on each face during the twin break-ins, the stage is set for the show's most memorable fights and unexpected outcomes, some of which will come up later on in this video. At this point, we can only wait to see how Meruem, his powers not yet revealed, will meet the Hunter's challenge.
そりゃあ握手だろう、アリンコ。
The next moment's pure poetry, a beautiful dirge to a fallen comrade. As part of his plan to raid the Mafia community's auction, Phantom Troop leader Crollo Lucifer kidnaps the Nostrade family's daughter and gets her to write him a fortune with her Nen abilities. The fortune hits home as it speaks of Uvogin's death. In memory of his dead partner who loved a good fight, Crollo orders the rest of the spiders to head for the auction venue and go wild, even as he engages the Mafia hitmen sent after him. It's a brilliant spectacle of mayhem, action and emotion, all set to the haunting music of Mozart's Lacrimosa and the fortune teller's words. This moment cements Crollo's position as one of the series' most charismatic villains. It gives the troop a depth few antagonist groups in shonen anime get. The spiders come across as a close-knit family and not a group of unfeeling thieves. They might, as a rule, welcome anyone who kills a member into their fold, and they might not be averse to slaughtering a room full of people, but they're more than their villainy, and this Requiem beautifully captures this complexity.
私はきっとこの日のために生まれてきました。
From a moment of beauty to one of great sadness. At the beginning, it's hard to think of Meruem as anything but a murderous mutant whose first action is to kill his mother. But a single chance encounter with the blind and clumsy Komugi turns his character completely on its head. What starts off as a game to kill time takes Meruem on a life-altering journey that confounds him as much as it does us. It's fascinating to see this cruel and violent king grow a heart and to be brought to his knees, not by a skilled hunter, but a defenseless human girl. At the risk of giving away the story, Meruem, close to death and almost blind after an epic final battle, seeks out Komugi, who's also fatally wounded. The chapter on their unlikely friendship closes with a final game of gungi that's sure to bring tears to the most hardened hearts. Making an antagonist like Meruem capable of such raw emotion and making it believable is perhaps one of Hunter x Hunter's biggest achievements.
おやすみなさいメルエム私もすぐ行きますから
ありのメルエムお前さんは何にも分かっちゃいねえよ人間の底すらない進化を
The battle between the Netero and the Ant King is a masterclass of action and analysis, experience and natural talent, with a good bit of mutual admiration thrown in. After losing an arm and a leg, Netero's on the verge of death, but it just so happens that the wily old hunter holds the winning card against his seemingly invincible opponent. Netero unleashes a final attack, a suicide bomb that triggers only when his heart stops. Before this ultimate sacrifice, he shows his enemy one last act of kindness, fulfilling his wish of knowing the name left to him by his dying mother. A victorious but defeated Meruem admits the old hunter had him at checkmate all along, and Netero gets a send-off that few mentors in shonen anime manage to achieve.
そう貴様は積んでいたのだ初めから 終わってもいい
If you haven't already noticed, the hero of this series, Gon, is barely featured on this list, but that all changes right now. The most memorable moment in Hunter x Hunter belongs to the boy whose story this is, after all. It also ties up with another moment earlier on the list, Kite's death. In the inevitable fight to the death between Gon and Pito that we knew was coming, Gon's forced to face the truth of Kite's death. But instead of acceptance and sorrow, he's overcome by grief and hate and snaps, setting off undoubtedly the most terrifying transformation in anime history. Sacrificing his life energy and all of his Nen abilities, Gon turns into an older, stronger, and altogether unrecognizable version of himself. Gon is the light from his eyes. Only a blind desire for revenge exists. Gon too is Pito's earlier confidence, and only fear remains. The sides have been completely switched. What ensues is a brutal, one-sided takedown where the lines between good and bad blur to such an extent, it's hard to see actually who's right and who's wrong. We no longer recognize the monster with dead eyes beating an already lifeless Pito to a pulp. Is this really the kind-hearted Gon we all know and love? Will he ever be back? Hunter x Hunter hits a pinnacle of darkness in this devastating moment that we may never recover from.
貴様を殺す
That brings us to the end of this video. Which of these moments are your favorite from Hunter x Hunter? Write to us and let us know. Also like and subscribe to ViniiTube for more cool anime content. Don't forget to check out our sponsors game X-Ross Chronicle. The link's in the description. We'll see you again soon with a brand new video.